welcome back to another episode of H&R Movie Talk. This is another tribute episode. I'm RT Mac, and this is
HB Gibson.
And this will be a dedication to the late Powers Boothe.
Yes, sir.
Yep. He was a man who not only won an Emmy Award, but starred in a lot of great films with guys like Brandon Lee, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, yeah.
I mean, he did animation, voiceovers, because he voiced Gorilla Grodd in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
He even voiced Lex Luthor in the movie Superman Brainiac Attacks, which was basically a 10-year anniversary movie for the beginning of Superman the Animated Series. But we wanted to pay our tributes to him and go over a few of the films that he was famous for. Now, he was born June 1st, 1948. Basically, this is a few years after World War II ended.
Yeah.
And he unfortunately passed away May 14, 2017. But one of the films that I remember him most from was actually a TV movie.
Which one was that?
It's called The Guyana Tragedy, The Story of Jim Jones.
Oh, that's right.
That came out in 1980 on television.
Yes.
This is where he won his Emmy Award for Best Actor in a miniseries or a television movie.
Yes, yes.
And for those of you who don't know, Jim Jones, or Reverend Jim Jones, was basically a cult leader.
Right.
He had his views on religion, and he was so desperate to have people follow his views that, I'll give him his due credit. He did have it integrated during a time of great racial segregation. He brought together black and white people. I will give him that due credit. But once the authorities started to investigate him and put pressure on him from how his practices were going, that's when he started to lose his sanity.
Yeah.
He basically took every person in his cult that by now was completely mesmerized with his message, took him all the way to Guyana.
Yeah.
And they invited some people out who wanted to see their family members that were still with his church, including a U.S. senator. Now, this happened on live TV. When they saw, towards the end of that meeting, that Jim didn't really want them there, and because they were trying to get some people to come back with them.
Right.
And I think they did get a couple.
Right.
They were driven to the landing strip where their plane was, but Jim had put out the order to have them all killed.
Wow.
And everything was caught on camera. All their television cameras caught it. You saw the senator actually go down. It's one of the most horrific things, ever.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a true story makes it even worse.
There is an old saying, there's an old term called "don't drink the Kool-Aid."
Yeah.
What was that about?
Basically, when the senator was dead, Jim Jones realized that they were going to come after him full force, because now you killed a top U.S. official from the government. Nothing was going to stop them from killing him.
Right.
So in order to take that power away from the U.S. government, he orchestrated a mass suicide by basically poisoning this Kool-Aid that they had and having people either drink it or, in the kids' case, injecting it into their arm. And luckily, there were some people, they hid away when that final meeting was called.
Right.
Some hid under their beds, some hid in the closet. Others ran into the forest. And basically,
It was a tragedy, man.
it's very hard to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because one thing that's in the movie that Powers Boothe, did was the voice recordings, the tape recordings that the real Jim Jones made.
Right. Right.
They recreated that scene because he basically rambles on and on and on, getting everything he wants to get out. And finally, he didn't even drink the Kool-Aid himself. He had, I think, either somebody shoot him or he shot himself. I can't remember which one it was, But his son, Jim Jones Jr., I think, is still alive.
Yeah.
He survived it.
Right.
And he said it was, you know, he demonizes his father for what he did. And he also says that it was a coward's way to go out. Like, you want all these people to kill themselves? He did have somebody shoot him. Now that I remember, he wouldn't do it himself.
Right.
He wouldn't kill him himself. He had somebody else do it.
Right.
So Powers Boothe did such a startling portrayal
Yeah.
that it was worthy of an Oscar. It should have been in theaters.
It's amazing how these actors are able to embody these, these people and the things that they did. I mean, it's amazing how it didn't drive him up the wall.
Yeah,
for training.
because in that movie, I kind of see how Powers Boothe was a method actor.
Yeah.
Whether or not he considered himself one, what he did was method acting.
Right.
Where you invest so much of yourself into that character to make sure you are that character.
Right.
That sometimes it's hard to pull back at the end.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why Daniel Day-Lewis is now retired. After he did Lincoln in 2012, he got his third Best Actor Oscar, but he said, that's it, I'm done. He says, I can't top Lincoln and I don't want to try.
Right.
He invested so much of himself in that, preparing for it, and by the end, that's it.
Yeah. And him doing the film with the late, great Brandon Lee.
Oh, yes.
The movie that was supposed to, that actually started him off, trying to bring Bruce Lee's son out into the forefront as being, the new action martial arts superstar, which was later followed up by The Crow, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Powers Boothe was in Rapid Fire. I remember it very, very well. I think
1992.
Yeah, I believe it also starred Dustin Nguyen from 21 Jump Street.
Let's see. Yep.
Yep, Dustin Nguyen from 21 Jump Street. Yep.
Oh, but another movie that he starred in with another martial artist, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
And what was that movie?
Sudden Death.
1990.
Sudden Death. It was the hockey. When you combine martial arts with hockey, I believe.
Yep. Another movie that he was in was the movie Con Air.
Con Air, yes.
Which was with Nicolas
Cage,
John Cusack, and John Malkovich,
Right.
along with Steve Buscemi.
Yep.
Known for many Adam Sandler films, but,
Yeah.
he's a great dramatic actor.
No, he's great. He's great.
So that came out in 1997, but there's one particular film he did make, I think during the 80s. There it is, Red Dawn.
Red Dawn, a movie classic.
Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Grey, came out in 1984. And Powers Boothe, I believe, he played Lieutenant Colonel Andy Tanner.
Yep.
So basically, you see how Powers Boothe could do drama. With the Justice League episode that's Gorilla Grodd, he could be a little comedic. But he just had that powerful voice, that commanding presence. It's something not a lot of people really have these days.
He just has that steely look.
And look, he was even in Sin City.
You know what? You're right. He was. He was in Sin City.
Sin City. Let me see. MacGruber. His last, theatrical film, the sequel to Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. But let's look at his television stuff. Here we go. Guy on a Tragedy, Story of Jim Jones.
And I believe he was one of the government officials at the end of the Avengers.
Was he?
In that one scene where Nick Fury, in that one scene where Nick Fury at the end, when he was in that room, when he was surrounded, when he was being interrogated, not really interrogated, but being questioned by this tribune,
the council.
This council. Powers Boothe was one of the guys on the council.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
There it is, Gideon Malik.
Yeah, Gideon Malik. Yeah. Yep.
So he's also known for television.
Yep.
He played Philip Marlowe in Philip Marlowe, Private Eye. Was nominated for the Cable Ace Award for Best Actor in a Dramatic Presentation.
Yep.
Then he starred in the TV movie Into the Homeland as Jackson Swallow. Nominated also for another Cable Ace Award, this time for Best Actor in a Movie or Miniseries. But it was later on in the 2000s that he really started to appear in more things that younger people might know him from. Deadwood,
yeah.
as Cy Tolliver, Gorilla Grodd in Justice League, and also 24.
24, yes.
He was Vice President Noah Daniels.
Ah.
And he even did 24 Redemption, the TV movie.
Yes, yeah.
He was even in a couple episodes of Ben 10.
Ben.
He played Sunder.
Sunder and Ben 10.
Yeah.
And he had a voice in a Scooby Doo film as well.
Yeah. As Dead Justice.
Dead Justice.
He even starred in 26 episodes of Nashville as Lamar Wyatt. Nominated for a Satellite Award for Best Supporting Actor in a Series, Miniseries, or Television Film. And played Gideon Malik
again
in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And finally, 2015, Moonbeam City. I believe that's one of the many canceled shows starring, yes, Rob Lowe. The many canceled shows he had, like The Grinder.
Right.
But yeah, Powers Boothe, he basically had a great career. You know, he'll certainly be missed by many people, ourselves included. You know, basically as a kid, I knew him mostly as Gorilla Grodd.
Right.
But as I got older, and I started to look at more of his films, the one that really got me was the Jim Jones story.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see it, I would see it on an empty stomach, just because it's really hard.
It's very harsh. It's a harsh movie.
It's really hard to stomach.
Yeah.
So to Powers Boothe's family and friends, you know, we really respected this man.
Absolutely.
And we're very sorry for your loss. And to the late great Powers Boothe, you're gonna be missed. Thank you.